This was just chatting. You're really kicking me out for that? Amy standing at the door, suitcase half open in her hand, eyes red. Chatting? You texted your colleague at midnight saying, "I wish I could fall asleep next to you." You call that chatting? She bit her lip, voice trembling. I was just too tired. I just wanted someone to understand me. I gave a bitter, calm laugh. Understanding? What am I then? Everything I've done for you, does it all lose to one message? Don't be like this, she pleaded. I was just working late. Working late. I cut her off. Then why was your hair such a mess when you came back? And why did you smell like perfume? She froze. Her face went pale. I didn't mean for things to turn out like this. But they already have. I walked over, placed the keys on her luggage. Leave the keys. She looked up, voice trembling. You really want to do this? I've already backed up as far as I can. My tone was steady. Love isn't about tolerating until you lose your dignity. The door closed slowly, the lock clicked. The apartment fell silent, only the hum of the fridge remained. I stood behind the door, took a deep breath. That was the moment I finally understood. Sometimes, letting go isn't cruelty, it's guarding your own boundaries. My name is Ethan, 34, a software engineer. Amy is 32. We've been married for 6 years, together for 9. Before marriage, she moved into my apartment. She worked as a marketing manager at an ad agency, outgoing, sociable, always the center of the room. That warmth was what first drew me to her. Our story wasn't dramatic. We rented together, bought furniture, saved for a down payment. She loved taking photos, I loved cooking. Every weekend, I'd make breakfast, she'd post photos online, writing, "A husband who can fry eggs is happiness." Then, 2 months ago, everything changed. One night, she came home smiling at her phone, walking straight to the bedroom. I asked what was so funny. She said, "Just a meme from the work group." I believed her. But over time, she grew quieter, more distant. Her phone was always in her hand, even during dinner. I'm not the jealous type, but you can feel when someone you know by heart has changed. One night, she went to shower and forgot to bring her phone. The screen lit up, a message from Kyle. Kyle was her coworker. I'd met him once, early 30s, perfectly styled hair, polite but slick. I didn't open the chat. Just seeing the name was enough to know something was wrong. The real explosion happened last Thursday. She came home at 11:30 p.m., hair messy, wearing a perfume I'd never smelled on her before. I asked if she'd eaten. She said yes, at the office. She showered quickly and went to bed, turning away from me. I lay there awake until she fell asleep. Then I picked up her phone. Their chat started with work, then lunch plans, then life then. If one day we weren't bound by anything, where would you go? She replied, "I'd want to fall asleep next to you." He said, "I hope that day comes soon." My hands were shaking. The next morning, I was making coffee when she walked out in her pajamas, hair tousled. "You're not going to work today?" she asked. "I am," I said, "but we need to talk first." She frowned. "About what?" I placed her phone on the table. "Can you explain this?" She stared at the screen for a few seconds, then her breathing quickened. "You went through my phone? You can explain first." "I was just talking to him, Ethan. I didn't do anything wrong." Her voice was tense. "I just needed someone to listen. You've been so busy lately, you barely talk to me. So you went to someone else?" "It's not like that," her voice rose, desperate. I didn't know how to talk to you anymore. It feels like we've lost all connection." "You told him I don't understand you," I interrupted. "You told him you wanted to fall asleep next to him. You think that's just talking?" She was silent. After a few seconds, tears fell. "I was wrong, okay? I was wrong. But it wasn't cheating. I never touched him." I stared at her, saying nothing for half a minute. "That's emotional cheating," I said. "It's worse than physical." The air turned to stone. I lifted my coffee cup but couldn't drink a drop. She stood there, trembling, whispering, "Ethan, we can go to counseling. I'll stop talking to him. Please, just give me a chance." I didn't respond. "Pack a few things," I said quietly. "Go stay with your sister for a while." Her eyes widened. "You're kicking me out?" "I need space." She cried, voice shaking. Don't do this. Please. You're being cruel. I turned away, gripping the cup tightly. Cruel was what you did first. After she left, the apartment felt painfully still. Her mug was still by the sink. Her shampoo still in the shower. That night, I sat on the couch watching the show we used to binge. The subtitles flickered across the screen, but I couldn't read a word. The next day, her sister called. Ethan, this is emotional abuse. You can't just kick her out over a few texts. I leaned against the wall, voice calm. Those texts weren't jokes. She was just lonely. You have to be more understanding. I didn't answer. As long as she's safe, I said finally. A long sigh came through the phone before she hung up. The next few days were quiet. After work, I came home to my own footsteps and silence, the click of the fridge door, the bubbling kettle, the clack of my keyboard. On the third night, I found an envelope at the door. Inside was a key and a note. I know you need space. I need time too, to figure out what I really want. Amy. I sat by the door, staring at that line. For once, I didn't feel anger or sadness. Just the realization that the distance between us had finally taken shape. A week passed. I still cooked breakfast for 2 out of habit. That habit said more than any explanation could. My coworkers invited me for drinks. I didn't go. I didn't want to explain. I didn't want to hear, you two can work it out. Some things aren't meant to be worked out, they're cracked open. Late at night, I opened my email. A message from Amy. Subject, I'm sorry. The body had only 2 lines. I know you hate me. But during that time, I truly felt like I was disappearing. I stared at it for a long time, then closed my laptop. I didn't reply. Sunday morning, I went out for coffee. Passed by the park we used to visit. There was a wooden bench where we'd feed the birds together. That morning, a couple sat there, a man adjusting a scarf around a woman's neck. I stopped walking. In that quiet moment, I understood. Marriage isn't sustained by love alone, but by choices. She chose to lean away. I chose to close the door. I don't know if our relationship can ever be repaired, or if I even want to try. But I know one thing. I can't pretend nothing happened. That night, Amy called. Can I come by to pick up some things? I'm home, I said. She arrived soon after, wearing a sweater and jeans, her hair tied back. She looked thinner, tired. I'll just grab a few clothes, she said softly. I nodded and stepped aside. She folded her clothes slowly, like she was stalling for time. I've been going to therapy, she said suddenly. Oh. The therapist said emotional affairs hurt even more than physical ones. She paused, turning toward me. I get it now. I looked at her, silent. I know you may never forgive me, she said quietly. But thank you for not smashing things like some men would. I gave a faint, tired smile. I'm just too tired. She zipped her bag, walked to the door, and turned back. Goodbye, Ethan. Goodbye. The door closed. The room went still again. That night, I took her cup from the sink, washed it, and placed it back in the cabinet. The kitchen light hit the porcelain, it gleamed faintly. There was a line printed on it, from the trip she took last year. Love is a choice. I stared at those words, and for the first time, I truly understood them. Love is a choice. A choice not to compromise after betrayal. A choice to stay calm after loss. And a choice to keep living alone but whole.